Perfect. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being with us. My colleague, Michelle Batty, you all know, and I believe you all know who I am. So we are thrilled that you are with us this morning, and we hope to offer you some helpful tools, gather your wisdom, and explore some great ideas that will serve your primary chapter well. This presentation will be recorded and kept for future viewing by colleagues that could not be with us today. The document that you will see throughout our time together will be emailed to you at the end of the session. You may have noticed that we refer to these sessions as IOD chats, and therein lies the magic. Your active participation is a key ingredient in its success, and we thank you in advance for your thoughts, ideas, opinions, and questions. I'm going to share a document with you. Over to you, Michelle.
Hey, I would like to begin by acknowledging the Indigenous peoples of all the lands that we are on today. While we meet today on a virtual platform, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the importance of the lands which we each call home. We do this to reaffirm our commitment and responsibility in improving relationships between nations and to improving our own understanding of local Indigenous peoples and their cultures. From coast to coast to coast, we acknowledge the ancestral and unceded territory of all the Inuit, Métis, and First Nations people that call this land home. Please join me in a moment of reflection to acknowledge the effect of residential schools and colonialism on Indigenous families and communities, and to consider how we are and can each, in our own way, try to move forward in a spirit of reconciliation and collaboration.
Thank you, Michelle. I believe I don't have to volunteer anyone. I think Karen very graciously offered to take notes for our session this morning. Thank you, Karen.
Welcome.
The agenda is, hopefully your interest has been piqued in some of the titles. And it's about an hour and a bit. So the timing is there just sort of as a bookmark. It is not it's not to be strictly kept to, because we'd rather hear your comments and have your input and take the time we need to be able to gather those thoughts. Now, in your chat, I'm just doing this. Michelle is going to be helping us with this, and I'm going to stop sharing this so we can see each other. But in your chat, I have entered that link that you'll be referring to, Michelle. So over to you.
Thank you, Diane. So we wanted to add a little bit of fun, knowledge, self-awareness into our chats. And having experienced the process through being involved with Myers-Briggs and True Colors, this really quick quiz from Big Brothers and Big Sisters that came across my Facebook, we thought that it would be a great opportunity to, consider what kind of mentor are you, so that you can take the quiz to discover your mentoring style and then see how your unique strengths can make a difference. So each one of us brings unique skills, knowledge, and expertise. And this personality quiz shows you how you naturally connect and care and support the people around you. So this is a very simplified version of, like I said, a Myers-Briggs and True Colors personality test. There are only 6 questions. It's fun to do. So we will, take the time right now for you to go to the link and fill out the questionnaire. Some of you may have already done it. And then we will share and talk about who we are.
So we'll give you about 5 minutes. If anyone needs more time, by all means, not a problem, but I'll give you the bell
Yeah, I
at the 5 minute mark. Does everyone have the link?
How do I find it?
It's on your chat. If you go to your bottom of your screen,
Oh,
you're
okay.
going to
Yep.
see chat, and it's right in there. You just click on it and poof, away you go.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, I was doing it with my friends. It was quite interesting. And to me, it made so much sense. You could see. I guess we should have thought of maybe playing some music while you were doing it, the quiz.
Anybody can help with an Apple phone. I cannot get it. Yesterday it let me see the chat and today it will not.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll do this another way. I'm going to email the link to you. Is that okay, Jane? You can get your emails, right? Jane?
She put herself on mute.
Okay. So I'll go grab this and I'll email it to her. So hang tight for half a second here. Technology is great when it works.
It's hard
So
just
how
to
are we doing on the quiz? People gotten their results?
Not yet. I'm looking on my phone, so that might take longer.
Okay, we'll give you more time.
Yeah, I just don't know how quickly they ship them to you. I guess I can refresh here.
It tells me it's checking for mail. It's just buzzing around.
Mine popped up on the screen as soon as I gave it my email. I didn't even have to look at my email.
Oh, wow.
Hi, Karen. Can you hear me? It's Lori.
Well, good morning,
Oh,
Lori.
hi. Okay, just making sure.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. Good
Okay.
to see you.
Good.
Nope, not coming in.
Maybe I forgot to hit sub.
It said check out your results or something. That was the button I clicked. No, I've got nothing.
Did it give you a place to enter your name and email?
Yep. It did.
Yeah.
Mine popped right up as soon as I put in my email, right on
Yeah,
the
so
screen.
did mine.
Wow.
Because I haven't gotten an email, but I got the results right away.
Yeah.
Where did that go?
Mm-mm.
Well, I'll be the same as whoever picked mostly 2s and 3s.
There's about a minute left.
Okay, I see what you're talking about. It was hidden. You mean the result as the who you are. It came up behind everything else.
Mhm.
It was a like a tab hidden behind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you guys for making me pursue that.
Got it.
So
You
we're
got
all
it, Lisa?
pretty much under control, or as
Okay.
under control as
Yep.
we get. Good.
Mhm.
I'm going to share the next slide, and Michelle, back over to you. Just bear with me for half a second here. What is going on? It's not working. It's not good. Okay. Bear with me for half a second. My screen's doing something stupid. Actually, it's a 13-inch issue. I blame the screen, but it's actually my fault.
Actually, Vicky's put in on the chat what she is, so it might be easier to do
Yeah,
that. when
that'd
everybody
be a good idea. Sure.
could see.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Can you see this screen?
Not yet.
Yes.
I can't see your screen.
Okay. Let me do this again. And
This is-
I'll open it up.
There, it's there. Now you
There we go.
awesome. Okay, so people are typing in what they are in the chat. Oh, lots of beacons. Fire sparks are coming up. Anchor and oh my goodness, lots of anchors.
A lack, did you say? Or a lot?
A lot.
Oh, good.
So they identified the 4 different types of personalities, which is very similar to True Colors, where they have the gold, blue, orange, and green, which makes it fun and simplifies it. So there, the beacon, who is the calm, guiding presence, who helps others feel safe and seen. The anchor is the dependable support that people count on no matter what. The challenger, the one who helps others grow by believing in their potential. And Fire Spark helps others dream big and see new possibilities. So we're going to open it up so people can share. Like, did it fit for you? What it's saying and what you are? Well, we're going to ask everybody to participate in sharing. Kathy, you want to go first?
Which Kathy?
Kathy Nunes.
Oh, sorry.
Her hand up.
Yeah, mine fit, but I found that I could have chosen 2 different ones.
Yeah.
So for each section, so if I went back and did it again, I'd like to think that maybe I was a blend of something. So yes, I'm the anchor, the dependable one, but I'd also like to think that I was a beacon, the calm one as well.
And you know what? That is so true, Kathy. I'm glad that you brought that up, because I know with like with True Colors, you have a dominant one and then a secondary one, usually, and some of everything, right?
yeah.
But there's usually one that's like comes out the strongest, and then another one, because we're all unique individuals. So I'm glad you brought that up. That's a great answer to share that, so we could share that information. How about Kathy Biles now?
I have taken this similar test before. I came up as a beacon, but I share Kathy Nunes's comments. In the past, I was an anchor. So
And that's
maybe it's an
another great
aging.
point, because
I'm-
people change over
Yeah.
time.
I'm maturing.
As you mature and as your experiences, develop over the years and different learnings and interactions with people, it changes over time.
Mhm.
Okay, Kathy Hill. Let's do all the Kathys. We'll start with Kathy Hill.
I'm an anchor, and I think it's a family thing. It's just how I was raised, and I can see this in my parents, my grandparents. So I'm quite happy being there.
Awesome. Okay, let me go see. Linda from IODE, Alberta.
I have no idea because I can't get the answers out.
Okay. So you'll have to, hopefully it'll come up at another time for you and you can look at
Sorry.
it.
Can I just add, I know Linda quite well, and I do believe she's the anchor. Yes,
She's
she's the go-to person, definitely.
And what about you, Lois? What are you?
Oh, I'm an anchor. I have one fire park, and then A, which is A and B, but B quite strong.
Okay, good. And Lori? You're on mute, sorry.
Lori, you're still on mute, my dear.
Is that better?
You got it.
Okay. So I lost the screen and I didn't want to fiddle around and lose everything. So I think that I also would be the anchor, that you can always count on me to help out, and I'm dependable, and that's why I joined the organization, is to be helpful. Thanks.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Diane?
Quelle surprise, a fire spark, just like you, Michelle.
Yes. I'm a fire spark too. And Diane Drawbridge?
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you meant me, sorry.
Oh, no.
Yes, an anchor.
Lots of anchors. There's something in there that attracts our IODE. Betsy?
I'm a beacon. I think I answered my questions differently than the last time I did the test, but I still came out a beacon. Although I have to agree with Kathy, there are a couple of things where, especially the very first section, first question, there were two answers that were equally important to me. But anyway, I chose the one. So yeah, I do believe I am a beacon. I am.
Okay, thank you, Betsy. Gail McDermott?
Yes, I'm a beacon. There were a couple of the answers there that it was hard to decide, but the beacon is what I am.
Shirley Ann?
Well, now, Michelle, what do you think I am?
Fire spark.
Diane did the same to me. I think you're, I can read it, can I? I don't have to guess wrong.
I have to tell you, it depends on the day and it depends on the situation, because you could do the same test this afternoon and you may or may not get the same results. So when I was reading through the questions, and I actually read them to my friend that's sitting here, and we both came up as fire spark, but I see all four attributes in each one of us. I see where we're dependable. I see where we can be a calming influence, and I see that we can aid and sometimes abet others in their tasks. So being a true IODE woman, I think I am a little bit of everything, but my fire spark is always there.
Well said. Thank you, Shirley Ann. Lisa?
Yes, so I'm a beacon, but like others, I could have picked some of the answers that maybe would have put me as an anchor. I think I'm an anchor trying to be more beaconish, because trying to listen more and not always be guiding people and giving them advice. But 30 years as a teacher, it's in your blood to tell people what to do. And no matter where I am in whatever group I'm hanging out in, they're always asking me, Lisa, what should we do for this? Lisa, and I just like, just do whatever you want. Like, you don't need to ask me all the time, but yeah, they just keep asking me, and I'm like, I'm trying not to be too bossy. But I have the energy of a fire spark.
Yeah.
I try not to force that on people when I'm in a group situation. I'm my own fire spark, but I think I can be a pain in the neck around other people. They're just like, oh, would you just slow down, girl? Be calm.
Yeah. Pulling in the reins sometimes. So Vicky, did you want to share?
Yeah, I got anchor. Something that no one has mentioned yet is sometimes none of the answers make sense. So yeah, I mean, I think putting someone into one of 4 slots is quite unrealistic in most cases, but it is what it is.
Okay. And Karen Dalton.
Fire spark. And but there was only one question that was just an automatic, oh, that's it. All the others I had to really mull over and then think about IODE specifically to answer it and not toddle between two. But there's only one that said, oh yeah, and and then move on. So it's really good because you wonder if you're toddling because you wish you were the other way, or whether you do have a lot of that in you. But I think a lot of us too say, oh, I wish I could be more like that. But then you've got whatever is sort of natural that comes out.
And when you hear what a person is identified as through this little quiz, it's like, yeah, I can see that.
Nobody came out as a challenger, though.
No, we have no challengers. We haven't heard from Renata or Jane.
Jane's an anchor. Will your anchor hold in the storms of life?
So what were you, Jane? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Anchor.
Anchor.
Yeah.
And Renata, you were?
I'm sorry, I can't do it while the computer's recording, so
okay.
I haven't got a clue.
Okay, well, you can do it later and share this afternoon.
Absolutely.
Lois.
I was wondering if we could get a printout of all 4 of the different personality types, because I only saw what anchor is. And I think when you're dealing with people, to know these different personalities will help you decide how you're going to inspire them, I guess.
That's a great point, because I was, when I was sharing with my friend group, and they were sharing, they, shared the, what they got and the whole write-up. And it was really interesting to see, because it's more in depth than what we put in on the little, overhead there. But the point is that we all bring special skills to the work that we do with IODE and how we interact with the membership and the skills that we have that we can use in order to recruit members and retain members to IODE. Diane, did you want to add something?
No, I think you've done a stellar job, madam.
Merci beaucoup.
Avec plaisir. We'll get you guys bilingual yet. That's my secret mission. We're going to move on, and thank you. This was fun. I've learned a whole bunch just by sitting here. This is really appreciated. So now you can see the screen, right?
Oh,
yes.
Yes, perfect. And what I've done is I've taken a note to grab the more detailed information off the survey, and I'll put it in a document in the email that we send you the summary on, if that works. Now, I'm not suggesting for 1 second that anything here is new. But I think that sometimes we get so caught up with so many things that we forget. And I'm a big believer in checklists, and I know some other colleagues around the table love checklists as well. So it's just and actually this was drawn from another document that someone else had pulled. I formatted a little bit differently, but essentially it's just to help us when we're doing a membership drive. And when it's too complicated, sometimes we don't read it or we forget about it. But really, there's a checklist that's right here. I don't know if you can see my mouse. Can you see my mouse here?
Yes.
Yeah, good. So it's very simple. And although they're very simple, it requires thought when we answer the questions. So, you know, how many new members do we want and why? I'll go into another exercise in a bit to deep dive that a bit, but it's how many, it's not just a question we want new members at all costs. Of course we do. And we always have space at the table for, what is it? When you have a bigger group, you build a bigger table. But it's, who is it you really want to talk to? Should we be more strategic in the way we look at, you know, approaching people? It's not casting a wide net. Are we as a group sitting here and saying, okay, well, a little bit on the personalities also, that we just realized that maybe we need a few more anchors, or maybe in our group we need a few more beacons, or, you know, and people that we know that would fill that profile and would be of help to us. The message, there's something I learned a long time ago, and I'm sure many of you have heard it, so I'm not sharing anything that's new. But it's, if you want to know how good your message is, have a grade 5 student read it. And they'll tell you what they're getting out of it. And if it's compelling to us, may not be compelling to someone else. And we have to, it's very hard when we're so passionate about what we do, and we're so part of it, and it's part of our core, and it's part of our nature. It becomes sometimes a little bit challenging. And that's why if you have someone outside the organization completely say, if we showed you this, what does it tell you? What does it mean to you? And at the same time, we have to have we have to have our egos in check, because we may have spent a lot of time writing a lot of things, only to be told that that's not at all what that message is saying. But we can't be offended by that, because our purpose is to reach out to those who normally we don't get to speak with or to. And so, what is it Einstein said? Doing the same thing the same way and expecting a different result is a definition of insanity. Leverage your current members, and leverage, it sounds almost business-like. It's like, let's use them or lose them, you know? But that's not the case. There are members that, you know, a personal request of someone that you know, it could be a colleague in another organization, it could be a member of your family, it could be a school friend, it could be someone at work, whomever. Excuse me. If they reach out to invite someone, the draw is a little more intimate than if we just do a blanket large invitation. And that relationship also will give credibility to who we are. So if someone that knows someone very well says, come, it's going to have a more intimate draw, and the confidence level between both will attract the person more easily. When we're talking about sharing success stories or testimonials, they're important. And we also need to think about different types of testimonials, not all the same ones. You know, if we're cut and paste all the same story, we have to think in our group and understand their personal journey with the IODE or experience, and try and draw things that will speak differently to different people. So once again, it's stepping back from communicating what we already know and believe.
Okay. I just stirred.
Yes, okay, sorry, yes.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Jane. Did you have a question, a comment?
No, I spoke to somebody coming into the room.
I'm
Okie
sorry.
dokie. Okay, and by the way, we're not in school here, so somebody can chime in at any time. I should have said that at the beginning. Sorry. Incentive and prizes, that may be something that one chapter is more comfortable with versus another, etc. Those are things that the chapter takes time to think about. Host events, whether it's an informational session, open house, etc. Marketing and outreach. We do have social media tools. Renata has been stellar in creating beautiful documents for us to use, and we should use them. And we know because when they're created, Renata is the master artist behind it. But we know that there's the way we usually do things is there's a collegiality in getting comments and thoughts and reflections. So those tools represent different points of view, and so they should be able to speak to different people at a different time. The sign-up process. I'm now going to do a testimonial. It took me 1 year to get into the IODE. It was worse than Fort Knox. It was worse than Fort Knox. I thought, do I have to give blood or something? Doesn't ring a bell as to what it used to be. But the sign-up process, let's make it easy, okay? We know we have rules and protocols and etc. But for the person wanting to join us, the simpler it is for them, the better. They we'll share the rules and the regulations and whatever as needed. But the person is interested in what we're doing. They want to be part of us. They want to bring their time, talent, or treasure, or all three. Let's make it really simple and easy for them to do that. And then when we explain the why behind the whatever, then it makes sense. But we don't inundate them with, the protocol and the process, and it's very heavy and it can turn people off. Welcome package, it could be as simple as, for those that are more technology, it could be an overview of the organization, the chapter, what it has been involved in, what it would like to be involved in, so that they can read it on their own. And there's some cool tools that allow you to do that, and I know Renata's familiar with them as well. But you send it to them, you let them read it, and then you follow up with them and you say, anything in there, ring a bell, light you up that you seemed interested in. Can I give you more information on it? But a follow-up is really, really important. And to track what we're doing, because what is measured is understood. What is not measured is never understood. So it's to track and evaluate, and it's just to see how we're doing. And often it's a habit I have developed over time, but it's when we do these type of things, and it's just sort of in the evaluation area, I call it a postmortem. And so you see, and it's very, very simple. I'll give you the simplest way to do postmortem, and it's 3 questions: what to start, what to stop, and what to continue. And if we look in that, and that applies to any project, by the way, or any initiative that we have. But it does us good when we've done something to sit back and see what we did really well. What was it we're really proud of? What might we want to adjust for the future? And what should we never, ever, ever, ever do again? So it's stop, start, continue. I'm not going to go all through the subject line because you are going to be getting these documents, okay? So I'd rather hear from you than have you guys listen to me. It's much more interesting. But you will have these documents to be able to create them. Create a welcome package with various elements in the welcome package. There's a suggestion there for 1-pager outline, and this allows each chapter also to feature their particular strengths and things they're proud of that could light someone's interest. So far, so good? Questions, comments, concerns, worries? Lois, I love your head. You're saying yes. You're encouraging me. Thank you. No, but is there anything else we'd like to questions, comments? Good.
Oh, I
Perfect.
have a question.
Oh, please. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, that's good. Yeah.
Sorry, it's Kathy Biles.
Yeah.
Trillium, the virtual group.
Ah, yes.
One of the challenges I'm finding is the timing of our meetings. So to have our monthly meeting in the evening may be great for the group that are there now, but for new members, I'm finding the timing of when we have the meeting. If you want young professional people, you can't have a 7 p.m. start time for your monthly meeting. You can't have a daytime meeting. So the feedback I'm getting from the young professionals is I don't have the time to attend your meetings.
Okay.
So I'd love to help out. I'll help, ask me for any help you might need. But to join, they feel they can't join because they don't have the time to attend the meetings because of how they're being scheduled. Just a comment.
And what would quick question, what would their preferred times be?
That's the bigger challenge because I've asked them. So I said, would you feel better if maybe we had it on a Saturday morning? Oh no, that's when I do this or that. Weekday, I'm at work. Evenings, I'm getting home from work, I'm getting dinner, I'm getting, so they're young professionals. They have no time in their life.
Okay.
So it's like, can they be a member and not attend meetings, just receive and go over minutes, or like what all do we expect from our members?
Okay, Shirley, I see your hands raised. Shirley Ann, sorry, your hands raised.
This is to Kathy. Kathy, we had a chapter in Toronto, the Captain Nicola Goddard chapter, and it was a chapter composed of young professional women, and they met either right after work, and at that time they would do like a pizza dinner at the national office when the national office was just off of Yonge and Eglinton, but they would also meet over their lunch period. That might be an option for them because you are a virtual chapter. Or if they can't attend all the meetings, maybe what they can do is volunteer to be on a subcommittee of some sort. That sort of brings their commitment down. I know there's a whole bunch of get in, get dirty, get out attitude because they are busy women. But those are just a couple of options that you might want to consider for your chapter.
Thank you.
Excellent. And I think that takes us to the next section. Back over to you, Michelle. But you guys have actually automatically done a segue to it, which is totally perfect.
Yeah, that's great because we wanted to look at
sorry, Michelle. Sorry, Lois, I think you just put your hand in. I apologize.
Just on the last section, I belong to a virtual chapter also, and we hold it at 11, anywhere between 10 and 11, and a few of the working women take that time as their lunch or whatever, but it still seemed to work best. And you just go with the idea that they're going to miss quite a few meetings. And then that's where the phone calls or the emails back and forth to keep them connected help. And we do have a coffee, but just a virtual coffee, but once a month now. But you don't always get them there also because, again, it's their busy schedule. But yeah, you do a lot more emails in between the meetings, I would think. And as long as one person is reaching out to them, or you have a couple people that keep reaching out with them, so they're not getting tons of emails from everyone. So that's where the mentoring comes in handy. Okay, that's it. Thanks.
And I agree with you there, Lois. It's definitely so doable because I know my own personal experience because I was working full time and also had 2 hours of commuting time in my day, but our chapter met at 1 o'clock. So I took a late lunch and it worked perfectly. However, there were so many other things I wanted to do with IODE, like attend many of the PAMs and NAMs and that, but with my work schedule, it was not possible. Diane, you have your hand up?
I do. Also, what may be useful is to have them as what I call an ad hoc member, in the sense that they can be a member, don't have to be there at all the meetings, but you can assign certain tasks, certain areas that they would be able to help with. So they don't have to be at all the meetings. If you put out minutes, it's there. But, you know, at the end of it, say, here's where we need some help. Can somebody do that? And that way, it's that it speaks to Shirley Ann's get in, get out, get dirty, get in, get dirty, get out, whatever order that was in. I like it though. I'm going to borrow it. But I think that that's maybe one way to speak to that too, is to tailor their involvement to things that they are good to do without the auxiliary work, you know, or the auxiliary commitment.
Shirley Ann?
Just to sort of dovetail onto what Diane was saying, in our chapter, we have, pardon me, we have members spread not just across Ontario, but we have a couple that are down on the East Coast. So we have one young member, and she can't attend our meetings. She's in the military, but her expertise is reaching out to deployed members. So I have assigned her the task of doing deployment packages to a certain group of deployed soldiers, and she loves it. She's very good at it. It keeps her active, it keeps her involved, and you know, she does what she can in the time that she is allotted. So it just speaks to, just because they can't come to meetings doesn't mean that they can't be an active member. You do need to guide them to make sure that they stay, you know, within the parameters, or, as we're going to find out at Pam, probably on the river and not on the banks.
Thank you, Shirley. Yeah, and you make a great point there of, you know, that we can be more flexible. And I think that during the period of engaging with the Zoom technology, we were able to, you know, expand and look at and be more inclusive of individuals from different areas. So I have two hands, Lisa and then Lori. So I'll go to Lisa first.
I was just, you know, don't want to drag it out too long, but also with new members, and I don't know how much we do this in our own chapter, but to make sure that you know where their strengths are. So maybe in this welcome package, a little survey. What are some things that you like to do? I think we fill that out when we are a provincial councillor or something like that. You know, where do your interests lie? If they really love children, then maybe they would help with the library program, you know, just making sure that the books are stocked in the library on behalf of IODE, the Born to Read bags, whatever your commitment there is, or just getting your brochures in the library. And they can do that on any time. If they're a young mom and they're taking their kids to the library, they're just like, oh, I'm also going to check the IODE display and I'm going to get it all done. Or if they're on maternity leave and they're already going to a young moms group anyway, then they could be your liaison, you know, for the Born to Read bags. But just kind of find out from them what they would like to do.
Thank you, Lisa. Lori, and then Lois.
Hi, us members, we know when our meetings are, and I work retail, so my schedule's always up and down. So I put in a request to have I put in a request today to have this day off so I could attend the meeting.
Well, we are happy you did that.
Are we ever?
Yeah, so that's an option for new members if they're, you know, not a set schedule like 9 to 5, you know. And so that helps me, you know, I don't miss that many meetings.
That's a great suggestion. Lois?
I forgot to mention we have a wonderful president, and because we've been doing this a number of years, we always do certain activities in the month. So for the first 2 months, it might be comfort care bags, and then the next might be literacy bags with books. And so we lay that out. So even if they miss the meetings, along with really good minutes, they can connect up with that, so they don't feel like they're not getting any information. And it seems to work really good. And of course, everything's optional depending on what their interests are.
Okay, thank you. So that's a wealth of information, sharing about, the experience of some of the challenges, I guess. So there was let's see. For this section, we're stealing Karen Dalton's idea and Janice's, and we thought
Good.
we'd have
That's
you
what
do.
this is all about. We
Yeah,
love
I know. It's wonderful how we can build and expand at each other's presentations. So you'll need a piece of paper and a pen. And this won't be onerous. But we have 2 questions that we would like you to think about, and we're going to time you so that we don't belabor it. And then we'll come back and discuss what you've written. So the first one is with regards to, now that you know more about yourself from our little quiz that we did, we wanted to know what strengths that you personally bring in recruiting new members. So what helps you to engage with others so that they want to join IODE? What strategies have you used to encourage women to join? And so we're going to ask you to write down 3 points regarding that. So basically, what strengths do you personally bring in recruiting new members? And then we'll give you time to fill that out. And then we're
1 minute, guys, is
1 minute.
the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So think
1
quick.
minute. So is everyone done? And we'll go to the next question and then we'll discuss. So the next question was, and we had decided instead of asking about what challenges, because we always talk a lot about the challenges in recruiting new members. But we thought instead, list an opportunity that you can use to recruit new members.
Starting now.
So are we ready to share what we wrote?
Michelle, can you repeat the first question again? I got kind of lost when you were saying there are two questions and I wasn't.
So the first question is, what strengths do you personally bring in recruiting new members?
Okay.
Okay, so I kind of expanded on that a bit, like what helps you to engage with others so that you want to join, they want to join IODE. What strengths have you used to encourage women to join? So it's just basically looking at what you bring to help recruit new members.
Okay.
So we'll do a round of sharing and so that we can gather your ideas on the first question. And then when that's done, then we'll go to the second question. So the first question is, what do you see you bring? What strengths to recruiting new members? And I'm just going to go across my screen here. Kathy Biles, did you want to start?
Well, first, yeah, I struggled with this one because I'm not very good. Well, I don't have much of an opportunity for a one-on-one, but I have been trying to do more to doing presentations and speaking up, that sort of thing. So the radio station was a blessing in disguise. I wouldn't have thought of it, but they asked me and I did it and I really enjoyed it. So maybe I should be looking for more opportunities. It just dawned on me. I have a cousin that does podcasts in her community in Bay of Quinte. And I'm also doing a workshop presentation to a seniors group. Nothing wrong with approaching seniors, but I personally would like to see more younger people coming in and joining IODE.
Okay, thank you, Kathy. Kathy Nunes?
This is a place, something I fall down on. I'm not really good at recruiting. I try my hardest, but I'm not good at it. I guess I'd have to say my strength would be my enthusiasm. I've had contacts through social committee. I've had names sent from provincial. I work through the computer, sending them emails, explaining what we do. I've sent them messages, annual reports, minutes, invited them to lunches, all kinds of things. Unfortunately, nothing has worked yet. So that's one reason why I'm here, because I'm anxious to hear what other people do. As I say, I've tried and I don't know what more I can do. I'm not good at going out and pounding the pavement. I admit it. That's not one of my strengths. So, but I've tried a lot through the computer and contacting people and following up. So hopefully something will work one of these days.
Thank you, Kathy. I think we all bring different pieces of ourselves to recruit in different ways. So I'll just put that out there. Linda from Alberta.
When I'm talking to people about the IOD, I like to talk about why I got involved, the good things I like about IOD, and how it aligns in my personal life, that the two jive very close together. The beliefs I have in my own personal life fall right into IOD. And the other place I watch for people is lots of our IOD members are previous Girl Guide leaders, which align quite along the same line. So if I see within the communities Girl Guide leaders deciding they've had enough of that, I jump on them to encourage them to join IOD.
That's great. Thank you. Gail McDermott. You're on mute, Gail.
How we get new members is people coming into our shop and they see, what things we support in the community, ask questions, etc. And usually end up joining the chapter. I think the biggest challenge that I see is retaining the members that we have. needing to keep in touch, calling them, if they miss a meeting, see how they're doing and so on. And sitting with new people when they come to the meeting, or assign somebody that I think probably has a similar interest when a new member comes to our meeting. Those are basically, I think, the things that we use. But retention is a big thing too, because we have a lot of elderly people, and now what's happening is our meeting space used to be at a church hall, and that was very convenient and easy for people to get to. We are now having to move our meetings. We are being offered space at Sheridan College, and a lot of people are finding that a little intimidating because they have to come into a big parking lot, and it's actually quite easy. And once they've done it, I think it's an easier chore for them to take on. But they find it a little intimidating because there's so much traffic going into the college. But the other problem is, and I don't know whether any of the other chapters are experiencing this, and it's a little off the subject, but it does affect membership, is the fact that, oh, geez, I've lost my train of thought here. Why don't you go to somebody else and I'll think of what it was I was going to say.
Well, thank you, Gail. So Karen Dalton.
Are you asking for the strengths we bring this time around, or are you asking for the opportunities?
The strengths that you bring.
I think my strength is the actual passion I have for IODE and giving back to the community. But I'm going to go on and say that an incredible mentor of mine once said, Karen, one of the most important things as a leader to know is how your strengths are your Achilles heel. And I think this is my Achilles heel as well, because I'm so passionate and so committed to, as Linda Reed said, aligned with your beliefs of giving back, that sometimes that can overwhelm as well. And that's the thing that I've got to watch. Because I believe in it so much. So I think that's the strength, along with the historical knowledge of, the chapter and the organization. But you got to be really careful about it.
That is a very good observation, because sometimes, and I think that's part of the fire spark, is pulling back the reins. I'm just from what I'm seeing. So thank you, Karen. Kathy Hill.
I'm going to start out with a negative at this point, and that is the fact that I live an hour and 15 minutes from where my chapter is located. So I don't have that personal on the ground opportunity to be meeting new people as they come to town. I do try and encourage my members to do that. But I guess the strength I do have when I am talking to people, it's the knowledge of the chapter's work in the community, the knowledge of our present members and their interests. So if, trying to align a potential new member with someone who shares similar interests in our own chapter, an openness to the concerns of time and commitment, and explaining that family always comes first. We've had a couple of instances where there's been a family member who's been sick or something, and members have had to step back. We've encouraged them not to leave, just to step back. We'll pick up their load, and they come back and they jump right back into things. So that's it.
Hey, thank you, Kathy. Betsy?
Yeah, I think I have a very positive energy about IODE, and I think when I talk about it in public, people listen, and I didn't used to give out my cards all the time, but now I do. I have followed up with people through texts and emails if I get that far in recruiting a potential member. We have one that wants to join. I had phoned again a couple of times to follow up, but I haven't heard anything back. So I do follow through with that kind of thing. And if somebody does join, to keep them engaged, for instance, because we meet at night, I offer to drive them. So I try and be helpful to accommodate them so that they either can come to a meeting or they are staying in touch person to person. And Lisa will probably say this too, but I'll say it first. We do hold lunches. We haven't had a lot. It's usually during IOD Awareness Week and the Founders Week, but those times you seem to have garnered new members. And even just another social time I was in, I got 2 new members. And so I think those social times where you're not all business really helps, or even being part of some of the projects. So I try and encourage people that way. I don't know if that's really answering the question. I'm not very good at self-analysis. Anyway, that's my.
Thank you, Betsy. That's lots of great suggestions there. Diane Drawbridge. So the strengths you bring for recruiting?
I guess like someone had all said, being positive and encouraging and trying to create opportunities for some fun things to take place. So organizational skills. So not just having, business meetings, but more opportunities for social engagement. So you get to have some kind of like fun, with the group. And of course, that's an excellent way to recruit members is by having, events like trivia night or a flower making workshop or something where kind of draws people in to see that, it's just not all about fundraising, but also for fun.
Thank you, Diane. Lori?
Also, I'm kind of shy and I'm not great at, approaching people and trying to get them to join, but at my work, I'm extremely friendly and I have a huge amount of, loyal customers who want to chat with me. So I will mention, our projects at IOD and they seem really interested, but because time is limited, I have to move on to the next person. One of our meetings lately have been at a retirement home, and I thought an idea would be maybe to recruit some of the family members that are there visiting. Yeah, it's a tough one. The young people, they're just too busy. They have, so much activities, but we're trying. That's about it.
Okay, thank you. Vicki?
Yeah, well, one of the things I put is that I can and will talk to anyone at any time. Call myself an elevator talker.
I like that terminology.
And so I have kind of developed a spiel that, if I get the opportunity, I've got a set starting opening line that explains who we are and what we do. And I'm continuously trying to refine that. And then the third strength is I can usually tell if someone is or is not interested, so that, like Karen said, I don't push too hard. If I see them glazing over or looking uncomfortable, then I know it's time to stop and just let it rest and, let it percolate until another opportunity, rather than overwhelming the person. So the ability to pay attention and gauge whether or not the interest is there.
I love having that idea of being prepared and having a spiel ready. So it just flows right out of you when the opportunity presents itself. Lois?
I'm like Vicki ex-salesperson, so that lets you know I can approach people, and I have to be a little cautious about being over enthusiastic. You know what I mean? Selling IUD too hard, too fast. So that is sort of all I need to say.
It twigged for me when you were talking there, Lois, and what I've been hearing too is the study that or survey that IODE Laurentian had done and had presented, and how they had come up with the super recruiters, and that there tend to be some people who are absolutely, you know, it's that sales, being able to do that, but everyone has skills and ways that they can participate in recruiting new members. Shirley Ann?
Sorry about that. I wrote down strengths because I thought the strategies will be answered after. So in addition to probably everything that people have said here, because I've got enthusiasm and passion. Anyone that knows me knows about my passion for IODE. Something that's really important, a strength that I have, people may not see it, but I do employ this. It's patience with prospective members. Rome was not built in a day. You can put the information out to the person, let them think about it, and then come back to them. Don't bombard them with, you've got to join now, you know, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. That's the easiest way to have people say, whoa, pull in the reins, lady. So I think Karen Dalton mentioned the knowledge of the chapter history and the organization. The other thing is you have to be organized. In my particular case, I do like to be organized. I like to have a checklist and go through things so that I don't inadvertently miss something that's important. So I think that's a bit of a strength that I bring. And I'll leave the strategies to when we discuss that.
Yep, it'll be the next after we are finished with all our strengths here. So Renata, did you want to add something?
Nothing I can add to all these wonderful comments.
Okay, thank you. Jane, did you want to add?
I guess I don't know whether it's a strategy or a strength, but engage the person and let them tell me what their interests are and what they like. And then with my knowledge of IODE, sometimes I can match them to something that they're really interested in and feeling that they don't have it at that time in their life and they'd like to have it.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, Diane, and then I'll go.
I think that everything I could possibly hope to have has been brought forward. What I'm going to suggest, if I may, though, completely off subject, but well, it's not off subject. Vicky, you referred to your elevator speech. I called it an elevator speech, but the elevator spiel that you have packaged. I think because I'm looking at this as at each of you, but I'm also looking across the country and saying, are there ways that we can build tools? So Vicky, please don't lose that text that you are forever perfecting, because it may be exactly a tool that could be helpful to someone that maybe feels intimidated by even knowing where to start. So these are things over time that we will get to, but I just wanted to, because as you said that, I thought, well, maybe there's someone somewhere else that would love that text or will tailor it to their own needs. But listening to the wisdom around the table, we have so much to draw on, guys. If it's able to be shared across with other folks, we're really privileged. That's it.
That is very true, Diane. And I, you know, for myself, there's not, I can't think of anything new to add to the discussion, but I think one of what I'm seeing is that really each one of us have a passion for IODE, for the difference that we can make in our communities. and the ability to recognize what our skills are, who we are, and what feels comfortable for us in approaching people. Because being, someone who's not outgoing, who may be shy, and putting them in a position where, we need to recruit these, and go talk to people, that's not very helpful. So I think, knowing who we are and what our capabilities are and what we feel comfortable with is very important. So the next, the other question was, what opportunity that you can use to recruit new members. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to share something that I don't know if it's successful or not, but the other day, our primary chapter, had made a donation to the hospital and for the children's ward to purchase infant sleepers and stuffies. So when we went up to the children's ward, and I was chatting with the nurses, and while we were waiting for the manager to come to get the group picture and everything. So I was telling them about the opportunities of what we'd been doing, our adopted schools. I had showed a picture and handed out bookmarks and business cards. And I said, just check us out on the website. We have a lot of nurses in IOD, a lot of teachers, and just, if you're interested, check us out and we can connect you. So taking those opportunities is something I'm going to keep doing. Okay, so let's just do pop-up and see who, you want to raise your hands if you have an extra opportunity, because we do have other section here to do on our chat. Kathy. Biles, sorry.
This may be more of a question, an idea that was raised by Helen at the last chat I was on, and something that Betsy had said to me, looking for an opportunity using community publications. And there are community publications, like I'm out in the country and so on, but I was wondering, does IODE ever place ads? Like even a simple, Michelle, what your chapter had put on their button, join IODE, make Canada stronger, something like that, and then give the links and so on. And if we don't have an ad, can one chapter or more create an ad or something that we can then decide, my chapter wants to spend the $125 or whatever to place this ad in this local paper or community communication or whatever.
So I think what you're bringing up, Kathy, is one of the things that we've identified, the importance of communication and membership, that those two are linked together. And I'm not aware of IODE placing ads. I know that some individual chapters may have done that, especially, or using the free PSAs that you can do when you're holding an event and those kinds of things, and getting the word out locally in your community. But I think, you're looking at even a broader type of marketing campaign, which will, leave that. We're not going to answer that question today, but it is an idea that, or strategy that we really need to discuss. Betsy.
Yes, I was just going to say, I don't see that Lisa is here any longer, but regarding strategies, she did actually reach out to a retirement home where we have met for the last couple of years, because we had several members who were living there at the time, and they've allowed us to continue. But anyway, she put out a recruitment poster sort of, in the elevators, and I guess that was our elevator talk, about coming and meeting us, joining like-minded women who enjoy helping others, this kind of thing. And she's reached out to get in touch with the entertainment director, who organizes all social events. So she's working hand in hand with the entertainment director at the retirement home where we meet to recruit potential members, the residents who are there. There are a lot of them, like many retirement homes, who are independent. They drive their own cars. They're looking for an activity to engage in. So we have been pursuing that for the last 3 or 4 months.
That's a great idea, and that's was mentioned. I forgot who mentioned it before, but it's the targeting various groups in order to recruit members. And I love the idea of the poster, and that may be something that that we need to do more of. The awareness, because when we have IODE awareness and all those activities going on and during the month, there was a bombshell of people contacting the websites, wanting more information and contacting us. So they really do go hand in hand. Vicky?
Yeah, I have more of a question than a comment. We have one of our strengths that's also a weakness is that we're known because of our chapter name and history as the Icelandic chapter. And so we get a lot of people who think that we are an Icelandic organization because that is something that's a dominant thing in Winnipeg. It's one of our dominant founding cultures. And so the weakness there is that people think that you have to be Icelandic to be a member of our chapter. And so we're constantly trying to overcome that, while at the same time take advantage of it when we do encounter someone who's part of one of the other Icelandic organizations. And I just wonder if anyone else has a similar experience, just based on the names of some of the chapters that I've seen.
So Karen?
We fight it a little bit, not as much as we used to 20 years ago, but our chapter is called IODE Eldon House. And IODE Eldon House in London is a historic home that you can tour, and it's like a 1900s home. So whenever you mention the name, certainly in the past, they're saying, "Oh, you look after Eldon House. Oh, how great!" No. We don't have anything to do with Eldon House. It's only a name. It's waned a little bit now. We don't get it as often as we used to, but it still pops up. So I know your difficulty, and I don't have an answer for you. I know all of our members just keep, when it comes up, just say, no, nothing to do with the historic home, because that's just perpetuating the myth that we're still little old ladies in the 1900s drinking tea and, looking after everyone. And that's not what we want. So Vicky, I share your pain, not as much, but all I can say is just keep on refuting the, yes, it's part of our heritage, but it's not who we are. It's a tough one.
Yeah, that's the word I use. It's our heritage, but it's not our mandate.
Yeah.
Hey, did anyone else want to share? Oh, Lois?
Me again, but I want to say this did get a hit. What happens is we had a challenge, wasn't my idea, and it was to get little baggies or some way that you could do a pay it forward kind of thing. And what it was, we had a little blurb, and the little blurb says, "May this contribute to your journey from IOD Evolve. Please follow our Facebook page and dates." And then I took it one bit further and got the positive thinking cards. I put my name on it, and then included, you could do a toonie. I included $5, and then I hid them in different places. Like, I did it when I went pay it forward in a lineup of any kind. And the one I did succeed in is I put them in pockets of little kids' secondhand clothes. And that's the one that got the hit. And the lady did phone head office. Unfortunately, that still didn't work. I had a lot of input with her, but she got extra busy and she was younger and decided she didn't have time. But it was really fun too. And I'm going to continue to do this.
It's a great idea.
Tape them on diapers and things like that. Not that they could be seen, but once they pull them out and they can see it, then they get a little surprise, and it's just a positive for everybody.
Linda?
Yes, we find in rural Alberta, if somebody's having a fundraiser, say the Kiwanis or something's having a silent auction, rather than as a chapter just donating a cash amount, we quite often donate a door prize or an auction item and advertise it with the IOD sticker, and then it brings more awareness to the community that we're around.
That's a great idea too. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to Diane for the next section.
I did not think, I knew I was going to come out impressed, but I did not think how impressed I would come out from this. Honest to Pete, I'm gobsmacked. So, as we said, and I mentioned a tool. Now, this is a tool, I will tell you where it comes from. It actually started in 1930. We like history, we like old things. This started in 1930, and it's a Toyota firm that created its Ask Why 5 times. And it applies to whether it's problem solving, so root cause problem solving, whether it's exploring, if you work in product development or if you work in project management. But the reason this is being shared is it has to do with, we put out an awful lot of effort in everything that everyone does. And it's really honorable and it is outstanding. I also think there's value in taking some time to step back and say, where are we putting our effort and are we getting the bang for the buck that we need? And so what this does is I use an actual example of how this process works. And you can change the question at the top. You can do it, but it's a question of asking the why 5 times. Usually the first 2 whys are pretty easy. When you get down to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, it's a little bit more challenging. So I'm only using it as an example. And as I said, these will all be presented to you or sent to you so you can use them. So if we look at why do we want to attract? Okay, very simple. Why? But we have to really figure out why we want to attract them, other than increase membership, other than wanting the group to grow. Why is it we want to attract? And especially when we get to the place of segmenting who we're speaking to. So if we want to get younger members, why is it important? How do we go about it? Why should they want to join the IODE? And so it comes back a little also to the what's in it for them. We know what's in it for us. We're already sold. We know it's quite wonderful. But sometimes we have to see how they're, and I think someone mentioned it, I can't remember who, I'm sorry, but it was a question of finding out it was Jane Cushing, finding out what lights them up and matching that to a project within our chapter that is currently happening or potentially could be developed. So they would take the leadership of that project and could bring in a new breath of fresh air into the various projects that a chapter would have. What are the challenges we're having? And the real challenges. So it gets a little bit harder as you go on. Why should we adapt our projects to accommodate them? I probably should have changed that to say, should we adapt our projects to accommodate them? Because sometimes we have a way of working, and I can speak for my primary chapter. There's a way of working, and it's heavy lifting to inspire, instill, or energize change. It's a lot of work, and people are normally hesitant for it. And then why is it important that they be part of our chapter?
Oh, those are hard.
Those are hard? Did someone say those are hard?
Yep.
Hard questions? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's why it's an exercise. Yes. It's not meant to be a cakewalk. And I'm not suggesting we do this, every 2 months, but I'm suggesting that if a chapter takes a little bit of time, those are hard questions, but when we answer them, we know exactly what we're going to say and how we're going to formulate it. So it means that, and the other part of this is it's a beautiful team building exercise for the chapter, because people will have different perspectives, will have different, a little bit like what we're doing today. Everyone's sharing their thoughts, their wisdom, their ideas. So we're building this morning has created a network of, 17 people. They are hard questions. They were not, I didn't say I was going to do all the easy stuff. But I'm going to leave it with you. And if anyone wants to use this and wants a conversation around how better to use it, by all means, I will be absolutely thrilled to spend some time with you. But as I said, it is not meant to be easy. But then again, we really want to spend time thinking about why we're doing something. And when we think about it and we come up with a solution, a little bit like Vicky referred to her elevator speech and the elevator pitch, thinking about it, refining it, etc. I know it sounds arduous, but it's really not that hard once we get used to it. But it's the type of thing you do maybe once a year, once every 2 years. But it does cement the framework and the efforts that we're working toward. Vicky, is your hand up, love?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I only signed on this morning, so I was just wondering if you're going to be sharing these documents by
They will
email?
all be sent to everyone. Absolutely. At
Okay.
the end of this session, this presentation will be sent to everyone. And I will add to it the individual, the more detailed info for the personality definitions for the test, where the little exercise we did with Michelle this morning. So that you'll be getting that. And this presentation is being recorded, so it will also be there, but it's easier to have these papers. That's why I'm speaking to them a bit, but I'll let you read them, and the door will be left open that if anyone wants to have a conversation on that. Following this, it'll be my pleasure.
So there's
I'm
one,
Go ahead, sorry.
oh, I didn't want me to cut you off, Diane, sorry.
No, I'm just looking at the time. Are you guys good for hanging around with us? This is quite wonderful. It's an hour and a half. I don't think anybody has a headache yet. This is cool. This is great. It's lovely. Yeah, maybe we can make sure that by 11:45, because people need to also sign 2 hours. I'm concerned. You're most welcome to stay as long as you wish, and we'll be with you. But I'm just looking at the time, Michelle.
Yeah, so we're on the last, really the last section there, and we were going to do the paper and pen, but I think we could just do a pop-up.
Yeah.
For this one, because what we had thought would be helpful is if you could think about how National can support the teams in our membership efforts and how you can help National in our membership efforts. And then just getting some feedback from everybody, just so that, because time is moving on there. Vicky, you have your hand up.
Yeah, no, I just had a thought about the new member package, and we just recently got 2 new members, both of whom are my nieces, so I have a personal connection with them. But to ask them what they want to know about the organization, because they may already know some things or think they know some things. So before I start working on a package or refining a package, I'm going to ask them, what do they want to know? What do they think they know? And what are the misconceptions maybe? And then to build something around that.
And I said, you bring up that the welcome package and the new member information is so important, because there's a lot that IODE does, and each chapter is unique and has the basic foundations of IODE, but individual chapters are involved in a lot of different projects and events and ways to help the community. So that's a good point. So the question is, how can national support in the membership efforts, and how can you help national membership efforts? I'll start. I think this is great. I think being involved in the chat has been a beautiful experience to be able to share and learn. Like every time we have a chat, I learn something new and new ideas get percolating. So I think, national continuing to provide opportunities for us to share information, learn from each other is very important. And the floor is open to anyone who wants to jump in.
Okay, well, I was going to say that chats are very helpful. I have found I've been incorporating new ideas, or we have in our chapter, and run things by people, for recruiting purposes, that kind of thing. Also, for national supporting us, I find that the marketing materials are great. Like we have our bookmarks and everything, like our Born to Read program. Every time we have some kind of event, we have them there. We do planters just about every year. We put a bookmark in with it. So it helps advertising. The fact that a lot of the stuff is free is helpful. And then supporting national. Do you want that answered as well?
Sure.
Or just the
Yeah,
one?
might as well do the two together.
Okay, well, I think sharing successes sort of bolsters national's awareness of what the chapters are doing and what we're doing well. And I was just thinking, we say we're going to do something in a chapter, we don't always get to it, but I'm just wondering if, if one person should be assigned to sort of be not necessarily the communications officer, because they do the Facebook and that kind of thing, but maybe one person could do the connection with national. That's just something that popped into my head, a specific task, and maybe it's something somebody would like to do, and that is keeping in touch with national, what the chapter is up to, like, individual awards or a chapter event that went well, that they can share with national, celebrating our successes.
So that's similar to sharing the information with ECHOS and on social media that is available through, IOD Canada and then the individual provinces also.
Yeah, but there's sort of those extra national things, we want to hear your stories, in, say, celebrating the 125 years of IODE. Those specific ones seem to take a little more thought, and getting to them, we don't always do that, for instance, in our chapter. But I'm just wondering, maybe more than one person it would be helpful, but certainly sharing what we do with national is important.
Great. Thank you, Betsy. Kathy Biles?
Yeah, there was a number of good points made. I've got too many notes here. But one of the things that I think I could use more of, love all of the bookmarks, and as Betsy said, the leave behinds, the handouts. But as a virtual group, if there was stuff that was more, e-friendly, so
digital material
that you can forward out to people. I also like the idea of the poster. So I was going to follow up with Lisa and say, what does your poster look like? I wouldn't mind putting up a couple of posters in town. If those sorts of things are more readily available, that would be great. I also like Betsy's idea of sharing not just our success stories, but I put together recently a PowerPoint presentation, but I didn't find a lot of examples on any of the sites. So if others are sharing the IODE message, or maybe giving, the elevator notes or anything like that to make it a little easier to get the message out there, would be more helpful.
Okay, Diane?
The intention, just to let you all know, some of you know this already, but some don't. We have received the membership committee received and went through a massive inventory of ideas. And what we are now doing is we are going to select 3 of those ideas and work on them for the year. Okay, so we're better off taking small bites, but really seeing it through to the end. And these type of ideas, for example, like the digital material, I think is what you were saying, if I'm not mistaken, how to create that so you can send a PowerPoint or an animated PowerPoint, which is even more interesting and exciting, and somebody sees it and makes her, and the advertising campaigns, for example, national advertising. So all this to say that it is our intention to, we'll keep the inventory of all the ideas. And of course, you guys have brought some wonderful ideas. We're going to take a few and make sure we deliver on them. And so that's the purpose of the membership committee. And we'll land on which ones, and we'll take a piece. And then at the end of the year, as I like to be, what do you call it, consistent in what I'm saying and doing. I referred earlier to the postmortem after an event, etc., to look at it. But at the same time, we're going to be doing this at the end of the year with how we have progressed as a committee. So we're going to hold our own selves to our own rulers, in the sense that we're going to be saying, okay, what did we do well? What could we have changed? What are we quite thrilled with? And we're going to keep doing that for a while so that we have a progressive movement towards the priorities of the committee and the needs of IOD as a whole.
Anyone else wish to share?
Okay, I'm going to go on to the final portion of this. Although I'll be very sad when we all hang up. Just a moment here. Okay.
Vicky has her hand up, Diane.
Sorry, thank you. Yes, Vicky.
So I just shared a link in the chat to the web page that I created. I just used the Google blog format.
Very
to
cool.
create a web page. So everything I hand out now, I've got that link on it. I've created a QR code for it for
Very
anything
good.
that we publish. So I've got, links on there that show what we're doing, a little bit of our history, photos of our scholarship recipients, and so forth.
Wonderful,
And of
thank
course,
you.
an email link to contact us if anyone wants to join.
I think one of the major, if we can find a way, and Vicky, you're speaking to it, but I think we have to find a way to create a national toolbox, which goes and captures these type of tools. For example, Vicky, you've worked on this. Other chapters have ideas as well, or things that they've worked on, to be able to allow us to draw on the collective wisdom, right? Because we've got wonderful people from coast to coast to coast, with gifted ideas, with a lot of knowledge, with a lot of experience. And if we should be able to allow that wisdom and those gifts to be shared with others. So how we're going to go about it, still in the process of reflection, but the fact that we want to create what I call a national toolbox is definitely not, it's going to happen. It'll be an evolutionary project, by the way. Michelle, I thank you for all your work. Michelle and I have been working on this for a couple of months, I think. And thank you for all your time. And to each of you, thank you.